my God. I gladly bow my knees and I worship you, Lord, 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 Lord. Forever you will be, forever you will be the Lamb upon the throne. I
Good morning, everyone.
Who among the sons of the mighty
Good
can be like unto you? You're the greatest name anyone can call.
Can you hear me?
Who could number from your beginning?
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Would have others join. Okay. Thanks.
Good
Have others.
morning.
Morning. We'll have others join in very briefly, shortly. So please let's remind others on the group. It's time for leadership workshop today. Good morning, everyone. Just before we get started, we'll just take some time to just thank God for today. Lord, we thank you. We give you glory. We give you praise for today. Thank you for the gift of life. Thank you for wisdom, for strength, for all that you are doing for us and with us. Father, we bless you. We give you all the glory. We give you all the praise in the mighty name of Jesus. Father, as we're going through our session today, we receive wisdom, understanding, insight. And thank you for the grace to have our speaker join us this morning. Father, as we go through today's session, we ask that you grant us wisdom, understanding. We ask that we learn beyond even what she will be sharing with us. We pray for that out of this, many people who have been, wondering how to start off things will know exactly what to do. Those who are facing challenges will know exactly how to navigate it through. And at the end of it all, Lord, our lives will be transformed. Will grow from where we used to be, and all glory will be to your name. We thank you once again, Father, in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, here we are with our speaker. Okay, so just before I introduce her, let's get everyone to join in. Although, I mean, this session is recorded for the purpose of those who would be joining in subsequently. The session is recorded, so I want us to really, this is a session that's really very important to me, because I know for many other people, because a lot of people have always asked, okay, how do I start a business? And I find it really interesting because she's someone who has who is doing almost everything from different perspectives. She's a mom, she's a wife, she's a business owner. She's a part of the leadership of the Renewable Energy Association. Anyway, her profile is up. I'll just read that very quickly and then we'll go on. Mrs. Damilola Ashaleye, I hope I pronounced it correctly, is a distinguished renewable energy executive. She's an energy engineer, interesting, entrepreneur, researcher, and advocate with over 19 years of experience. She's a chief operating officer and co-founder of Ashtam Solar Company Limited, a renewable energy enterprise dedicating to addressing energy poverty through innovative solar solutions, technical training, and clean energy entrepreneurship. She also serves as the Vice President of Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria. I'm sure that we all know that that is the country's foremost renewable energy industry association. She's a founder and executive director of an NGO called Girls and Women Technological Empowerment Organization, which is focused on developing female leaders in technology, renewable energy, and climate action. She's popularly known as the Solar Queen. Yeah, yes. And these are initiatives that she has put together towards empowering women. And so far, she has empowered over 6,000 women. Wow, amazing. Girls and women in practical skill, leadership development, and opportunities. Yes, she's our Solar Queen. So, ladies and gentlemen, I can see the clap innovations already. Let's keep that coming. Yeah, let's keep that coming as we welcome Mrs. Damilola Shileye for her session. Thank you so much, ma'am. We're grateful to have you. Over to you now, please.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting me for this session. I'm quite excited to be sharing with a group that is exciting, that is also faith-based and in the energy sector this morning. So I want to confirm, are you going to be sharing my slides or should I share from my end?
I think the team will share that. Okay, yes.
You can share from your end, ma.
Okay, I think he's already projecting already. GD is projecting already.
Oh, okay then. Okay, so thank you so much. Probably I should project from my side so that it will be easy. So I'm just
Yeah.
go to the
Okay.
next slide and I can do the next slide myself easily.
Okay. GD, please, you can stop sharing so she can share.
Yes, I'll just share it. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can. Do not on slideshow yet.
Yes, I will do that. Yeah, please confirm if it's on slideshow now.
Yes, please.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Damilola Shileye, as Chineye has introduced, and I'm the co-founder and chief operating officer of Ashtem Solar, and I'm also the vice president of the Renewable Energy Association of Nigeria, and I'm excited to be speaking to us today on fundamentals and starting and growing a solar business in Nigeria. So I've been in the solar business for a very, very long time in Nigeria, for 19 years now. Ashtam Solar, actually some more than 19 years, but my company is going to be clocking 19 years in about 2 or 3 weeks time, July 11. And we actually started this business before we got incorporated. Earlier than that, like some months before that. So it's an industry that is that I'm very, very passionate about, and it's an industry that's, I believe that this is what I'm going to be doing for my life. It's not that I believe, I know that this is what I'm going to be doing for my whole life, because I'm very passionate about it and I've been in it for a long time. And we all know that there's the energy access challenge in Nigeria. Is not something new to all of us. It's what every Nigerian, despite the tier that we are, even if you are rich, you're poor, you are middle class, you are high class, you are low income earner, every one of us has at a point in time, or even still currently, going through this energy access challenge in Nigeria. So that means, though it says 85 million is without electricity, I would say it's the 220 million of us that is actually facing this challenge, or even more, probably we are more than 220 million now that is actually facing this challenge one way or the other. And before I go too much in depth into today's session, I would like to tell you a story of a girl when she was 13, that she felt this challenge. I think that was in 1998. She felt this challenge. She saw it a little bit distant, but a little bit close, where there was a petrol scarcity at that moment, and someone bought petrol and kept it at the back of the kitchen of one of our distant relatives. And the next news, the story the family is hearing is that the distant relative got burnt, and the distant relative had a small baby of like 3 months, and a boy of, that was a girl, and then a girl and a boy child of about 5 years. And then they were thinking, how are we going to take care of these children within the family and all of that? And that actually got this girl thinking of what Nigeria was then, and the kind of challenge that everybody's just facing: tankers falling, people getting burnt because they want to take fuel from the tanker, people ordering petrol behind kitchens and all of that. And what will happen to the children that are now without mother? And since that time, this girl was thinking of how to solve this problem until she got that opportunity to go to university, and she was able to see a course that was physics and solar energy, and that was it. She just got stuck with it for life. And I'll tell you that this girl was me and is me. That was my story of how I started thinking at the age of 13 of how to solve energy challenges in Nigeria. And this has evolved over the years. And I would say that this challenge of since 1998 is still there right now in Nigeria. So that means we have a very, very big challenge which we are still facing, and we have to keep on thinking of how to dynamically solve this problem. And so how did we now start a solar business? So I will also still tell us the story of this same girl. While in the university, she was very, very dynamic with everything. That's even the lecturers, sometimes they come to her to solve their solar energy problems. And she got engaged in everything that has to do with solar in the school. That's by the time a Fulbright scholar came to Nigeria from the US to do his Fulbright scholarship in Bowen University. This Fulbright scholar actually took in as a student research assistant while still undergraduate. And because of that, by the time she graduated, this Fulbright scholars researcher gave her and her partner the very, very first solar job to start with. And that is how I and my partner actually started Ashtam Solar, through a referral from a Fulbright research scholar that we worked with while we were in university. And I'm telling this story because a lot of people do think, yes, you need to have a lot of, sorry, please, 1 minute in the meeting. Okay, just give it a minute. Okay, so duty calls. So I'm telling this story because a lot of people do think it's rocket science. It's very difficult to start a business in Nigeria, especially business in a technical field. However, yes, I will not say it's easy. However, it takes determination. It takes you being persistent. It takes you showing yourself even when you don't have a lot of resources yet. Because at the time when I started, those resources were not there. I had nothing. My partner had no financial resources. Of course, we had some support. We had human support. We had family support. But we also have our own determination. And that was the basics that we actually needed to start the solar business. That determination to solve a particular problem, and that determination to also create job for the industry, for Nigeria industry, and that determination to also excel. That was actually part of it. So that was our home basics, and that was what we built on. right from the beginning. So for solar energy in Nigeria, I believe we have like 40 minutes. So for solar energy in Nigeria, there are different value chains, which I have mentioned some of them right here. There's the sales of products, there's the system design, there's the installation services, there's the operations and maintenance, there's the mini grid development, there's the solar home systems, there's the energy as a service, there's solar financing, there is training and capacity building, there is manufacturing and assembling, there is even energy law. So there are several value chains. Even there's logistics. That's actually also a value chain in the industry. There's the logistics aspect of it. So there are several value chains in the industry, but then you need to be able to know where you want to play into, which one calls to you, which one has been designed for you, or which ones that you want to match together for yourself or for your organization. And how do you do that? You need to ask yourself some questions. What is the problem you want to solve? Which, for my story, I knew the problem that I wanted to solve. Yes, over the years, it evolved. It evolved to, because at that time, I didn't even know what climate change was. Now, if you ask a 30-year-old, my 10-year-old child knows what climate change is. At that time, I didn't know what climate change was. But yes, over the years, it evolved. It evolved to climate resilience. It evolves to wanting to empower youth, wanting to empower girls and women. It evolved over the years. But initially, it was just solving that problem of alternative source of energy, reliance on diesel and fossil fuel. That's what it was for me. Then you need to know who are your target markets. What problem are you solving and who are you solving these problems for? So that is very, very important. And then there are so many organizations now, there are so many people doing solar energy business in different ways and different formats. So you need to know what will uniquely differentiate you from others. What is your unique value proposition? Because yes, everyone is doing solar business now, but what will actually identify you or your organization, distinct you from everyone? Then you also need to now think about your technical expertise. What are the expertise you possess to actually do the solar business in the value chain that you have decided that you want to do? What are the expertise that you require? Then what capital do you require? Can you generate this capital? What are the resources easily available for you to generate the capital or to leverage on for the technical expertise? If you don't have them, what are the skills you have or people around you have that you can actually leverage on? So these are some of the key questions that you need to ask yourself before starting your solar business. Very, very critical questions. Then you also now need to build your business foundation. I'll go back to my story of us having our first job. Of course, when we had that first job, we haven't registered our business. But immediately, right from the funds of that very, very first job, I can remember that job was 700,000 naira, and that was in 2007. And then from that money, we were able to import. We imported, we didn't buy locally at that time. We were able to import our solar panels. We bought the batteries and inverter locally at that time, but the solar panels, we actually imported them. And then from the funds that remained, we registered our company immediately. We registered our company and also created a website right from the beginning. Because even at that then, when visibility is not a very big thing, then we understood that we needed to create our visibility. We needed to put our brand out there. I needed to create an ownership of it. I needed to also ensure that our compliance have started. Because I'll tell you then that despite the fact that we registered our business, yes, the first year, I think the first and second year we did our tax clearance, but then some years we didn't do our tax clearances, which I'm still going to be talking about. But we understood that it was very, very important to have our organization registered and also be out there. Then the next thing that you need to do is to ensure you have the relevant certifications and permits. These are very, very important, especially in times like this. It's very important you have the right permits. Now there's the NEMSA that is being taken serious. Now there's the current certification. If depending on the value chain that you're going into anyway, but if you are going into the solar installations aspect of the solar business, then it's very important that you get certified. It's very, very important to get certified, and it's very, very important that you get company compliances, no matter the value chain. Now the compliances are very, very important. Then the next is for you to also create a business plan. Your business plan, you have your vision stated, you have your mission stated, you have how you want the business model that you want to use, how you want to generate revenue. You need to put all of that in your business plan, because the time will come when you need to get partners, when you need to pitch. It is your business plan that will be a guidance for you. There are times that you need to do applications, but because you've already created a business plan, you'll be able to go back to that business plan, and it will be easy for you to extract some of the questions and modify them from your business plan. I'll tell you, up to today, we still go back to our business plan every time there is a capacity statement that we need to state, there's an application we need to do, there's a submission we need to do to our investors, to our partners. We always go back to our business plan to refresh ourselves of what we are doing and to be able to present to our partners. Now, it is also very, very important to establish an accounting system. At the time that we started, we weren't using all these digitalized accounting systems, QuickBooks, Sage, different ones that are out there right now. However, we're still doing the basic one of inputting into books. Then we had a copy of books, like every single thing that we were doing, I was writing it down in a book. I still have records of some of these books. And by the time we started to become digital, we started putting them in Excel sheets until we migrated into using accounting softwares. So then it was more difficult, but now things are easier. There are several of these accounting softwares now that there are even free versions of it. So it is very, very important, because that accountant, you will need it. That accountant, by the time you are growing, you need it. Even at the stage that you may be, you still need it, because business is for you to be able to grow profits. You need to be able to know where you are at any point in time. You need to be able to know if you are losing or you are making any profit at all. And you need to be able to see your dashboard at a glance to know what you're doing right and what you're not doing right. So that accounting software, or that accounting system, it doesn't have to be a software. That accounting system, it can't be overemphasized, because it is something that will help you to know every stage that you have and how you want to grow, and it will come very, very handy when you need investors, because the investors will ask you, how much was your revenue, what was your gross profit, what was your net profit, what is your operational expenses, and you must be able to just say all of this offhand, or even if you can say it offhand, you must be able to open something that will allow you to be able to quickly give answer. And even if it's not the investors, even yourself, you need to evaluate yourself at every time. Then another one is to develop standard operating procedures for several aspects of your business. This is also very, very important, and this is good for sustainability, because in business, there will always be people that comes and goes, and it is your standard operating procedures that will ensure that there's sustainability for your organization, so that even if someone leaves, the next person knows what to do immediately he or she comes into the business. Now, there are several business models in the solar energy business, and the most common one is the direct sales, where customers pays upfront or probably pays a particular percentage, let's say 80%, and then you do the solar system for them, and then they pay immediately after installation, something like that. There's also what we call the lease to own model, where customer pays over a period of time, and then the customer owns the system over after finished payment. And this one specifically now is for the solar installations or solar sales of product value chain. And then there's also the energy as a service, where you actually own the equipment, and someone that you're providing service to, they are paying for the electricity they consume. Example is probably you do a solar system for a complex, and in the complex there are several businesses or shops, and they only pay for the electricity they use, while you are the owner of the solar panels, the inverters, the batteries, and everything. There's also the pay as you go systems, which is like a mobile enabled payment structure where people can pay via mobile money, and people can also pay on installments. So there's a pay as you go. And then there's also the mini grid operations, which is like a recurring revenue through electricity sales, which is also like the energy as a service, but it is now in a mini grid format. In mini grid, you have to actually distribute your electricity across distribution channels. So these are different business models, and these are just examples of business models. There are several business models now. There's the EV, there's the battery as a service, energy storage as a service. So there's so there's a distraction somewhere. Kindly help mute the person so that
Jide, can you mute? Ruth, please, can you mute him?
okay. So as I was saying,
For that one.
there are different energy services now, and there are different models, and these are just very few of them. So now that you have decided to have a solar business, and you've already started some of your structures and all of that, the next thing is actually for you to know how to finance your business. So, sorry, can we please mute that person is really distracting? Thank you. The person is still speaking.
Just try.
Better. I was able to give put it there. Then you can. Okay.
So remove the chef.
Mr. Babajide, can you hear us?
I don't think the person can hear you. So, an admin from your side will have to mute him, please.
Yes, we have done that now. Thank you.
Okay, so financing your solar business. I've also said the story of us not having, we didn't have the finance right from the beginning, but we were able to get one single job that was able to pay us upfront, and we're able to finance that particular project. We're able to register a company, we're able to buy some tools from that, and then we relied a lot on referrals at that time, from family and friends referral. So I will tell you the first point of finance, especially if you are just starting, is your family and friends. Those that know you already believe in you. For us, the person wasn't our friend, or our family, a friend in quotes, but he was a lecturer that believed in our capacity. So someone must be able to believe in you, and that is frequently the first source of finance for your business, especially for those that do not have any resources. Of course, those that have worked somewhere before and have saved some funds, this can you have to visit the person.
A friend.
Please, can you take this person out, please?
That's
Okay, thank you. Okay, so where was I? So for those that do not have reserved funds, or they don't have, because yes, some people may have probably worked somewhere, or their parents have a lot of money to support them and invest in them. But for those that do not have reserves, start, this person is still here. Can't hear the person, like we can remove the person from the call. Thank you. Okay, so so personal funds, let me just go back because I was distracted. So if you have personal funds, yes, is a good way, because some people might have done worked somewhere before and have some money, or their parents may have funds to support them, and they can use that to really start big. Yes, personal funds and personal savings is good if you have it. But then if you don't have it, I will still tell you that the best bet is for those that believe in you, your family, your friends, someone that have seen your capacity and is willing to take a risk on you. That will be your source of capital. Then the next one will be the angel investors. However, before any investor, even if they are angel investor, before they can give you anything, they must see something. They must see attraction. Investors don't fund businesses. Investor fund businesses. They don't fund ideas. So even angel investors, yes, they may be willing to fund ideas, but you must show something, like something for them to really trust you and believe in you. And most times that something is traction. A pilot, something that shows that you have done something somewhere for someone to take a risk on you. So that means you must still try to look around you. And I'll tell you, these resources are out there. They are around you. It could be someone that is a friend to a friend that have heard what you believed in or what you have been showcasing. At our time, it was because we were showcasing capacity in the university. Now, I'll say it is easier to showcase capacity because now there's social media. Now, whatever you do, you can put it out there. People will see. People that did not even know you, they will see it. And if you keep on showing up, you keep on putting yourself out there, then people will believe in you. So right now, it is easier to show up to build traction than it was in previous years. Another sort of financing, of course, is the commercial banks. However, their interest is high. But yes, they are also there to support. However, they also have different requirements. Which part of it is traction? It could be traction in form of what you've been doing before. It could be traction in form of revenue generation. You must show something for them to be able to give you funds. Even the DFIs will not just give you funds out of the way. You must be able to show something, and that's something that you must show is always coming back to your family and friends, to your resilience, to you showing up, even when you don't have the funds yet. Then there are grants. Even when you are writing for grant applications, you must still be able to prove yourself. Nobody will give you anything if you can't prove your ideas, if you can't show that, yes, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it, these are the steps that I have taken to achieve what I want to do. You must have taken some steps. You can't just say that I want to do this without starting something yourself from somewhere. And also, there are also impact investors. However, all of them are the same. The only one of these that are different are the family and friends and your personal savings, which is where you always need to start if you don't have the capacity to go very big. Because if you have the capacity, like if you have the personal savings or your family and friends have enough capacity to support you, then you can quickly build something that you can start to showcase to investors, start to put in for your grant applications, start to showcase to your commercial banks or even impact investors. But there must always be something that you need to start with, even if it's just you believing in yourself and showing your family and friends and network that this is your dream, this is your capacity that you are showing up for, then they believe in you to invest in you. Now, the next thing is for you to build a strong team. I'll always go back to our story. The team that we started with was myself, my husband, and the artisans of our parents. Those were the people that we actually started with. So this still brings us to the core. However, this team had all the relevant requirements. From the technical lead, of course, myself and my husband, we are technical oriented, so we were our own technical lead. For operations and finance, I am a very good operations person and finance person. And this was also because, I think I should also tell this story. This was because my parents, my dad and mom, at the age of 12, they actually gave me a camera and told me that start to take pictures and start making money for yourself. They are photographers. And they showed me the way to make money right from 12 years old. And then even while in secondary school, then after school, I will go to my parents' photo studio and I will start learning photography. I will enter the dark room, start to develop photos and that I've taken in school that I want to go and sell in school. So I've already gotten that business idea and also how to manage finances right from a very, very young age. So within our group, we had that operations, that finance, that technicality. Then the customer support, we also had customer support for ourselves at that time. And the things that we couldn't do, we outsourced. And that was where the artisans came in. So we outsourced to the artisans that were within our network at that beginning time. But this was 19 years ago. Now it's easier. It's easier to outsource. It's easier to collaborate. It's easier to even drop ship. We did a lot of drop shipping now, and I will tell you, even up till today, we still drop ship. So it's easier to collaborate with people, look for someone that have the capacity that you don't have, and co-create something together. Because one person may not be able to have all of this capacity. Yes, in some cases, some people have a lot of skills, but you can't have all the skills. You may be able to have multiple skills, but you can't have all the skills required. And that is why you need a core team that you need to intentionally, you have to be intentional about things. You need to intentionally think about, these are the things I want to do. How do I solve it using the resources? Like I told you, we used the artisans of our parents. And it was intentional because we knew at that time we couldn't outsource to big company, but we knew some artisans that had the capacity that we can leverage on the skills and at affordable rates. That was what we did then. But now it's easier because you can even go online. There's organizations now that you can even get installers from them. There are organizations that you can get financing from them. There are so many organizations now that you can outsource some of these to, or collaborate within your friends for all of you to grow together, or even within your family for all of you to grow together. Now, what really matters when you are building your team and your business is integrity. Integrity of those you are speaking with, integrity, your own integrity, the competence of the team that you are bringing together. The team you are bringing together, are they customer focused? Then what are the problem solving ability of the team that you're bringing together? So these are some of the things that we really need to look out for. And here I have something that says the solar business ecosystem. There's the solar professionals for the ecosystem, which is like, who are the things, like what are the things that actually comes together to support your own solar business? You need the professionals, you need your manufacturers if you're going into sales of solar products, your manufacturers that supplies and sells your products, or supplies your batteries, inverters, everything. You need them. Then you need your financiers and investors, which I've spoken about. Then you need your operations and service providers, which could be either outsourced or within your organizations. And at a very, very key center of it is your customer, because you are doing this because you have customers or you need customers, you want to make revenue. Yes, passion should drive something, but if you are not profitable, if you are not servicing customers, there is no sustainability. So you need the customers. And then you need the sales partners, the marketers for your organizations. And I'll tell you, your marketer may not even be people that are in your organization sitting at your desk. Your marketers could be someone that I've seen your post somewhere, someone that believed in you. Like I said initially, someone believed in us, and even up to now, I will tell you, a lot of the businesses that we get is because someone spoke about us in one closed room or in one open room somewhere, or said to someone, "Oh, I know Solar Queen. Yes, you can give a company a job." Because I've been seeing her post, I've been doing this. So you need marketers, you need people to believe in you. And you can build this even if you don't have people in your close cycle. You can build this profile out there. You can build an online profile that will make people to trust you and speak about you even when you are not there. And of course, the policies and regulators are also a very, very important part of the ecosystem. You need to know what the regulations are. You need to know what the policies are. You need to know what what the government is saying about your industry, so that you do the things the right way. Like I mentioned earlier, there's now the NEMSA. NEMSA has always been there, but there's more traction and visibility going to it now. So you need the regulators are there, and you can't push them away. Especially if you are going for installations or mini grid development. For mini grid development, you can't play with them. You can't even go anywhere without them. So it's important for you to understand all of this. Now, you need marketing and customer acquisition strategies, and some of the effective strategies that we have used over the years include referrals, which I've mentioned before, someone speaking about you somewhere, social media, strategic partnerships. You can partner with different organizations that can bring more jobs to you, depending on the value chain that you have. Community engagement. Are you engaging those in your network? Are you engaging people where you go for marketing drills? Another aspect could be industry exhibitions, where you showcase what you're doing. We've used this also several times in our organizations. Even we've been at trade fairs, that you will see us dancing at trade fair. I've danced at trade fairs before. So these are some ways that we've seen that has been effective. Also creating educational content. This is also a very, very good way and effective strategy to to build customer base. And the golden rule here is that people buy trust before they buy solar. So they must trust you. Your referrals must trust you. Your social media handle, they must trust what you're putting out there. Because I will tell you, when you put fake things out there, people actually know. Somehow, people know that this is fake. So you must build trust. If you want to even have partnerships, your partnership must be built on trust. I think we are 5 minutes beyond time. So let me see if I can move faster. And please, I need some reactions to know if I still have people engaged. So please, thumbs up, clap, whatever. Please share some reactions so that I can still see that we have people engaged here. Yeah, thank you. I can see our reactions. Um, okay, so some challenges. Of course, challenges will always come. You cannot do without challenges. Yes, solar business is good, but I'll tell you it's roller coaster. There is always ups and down. There are good times, there are bad times. So some of the challenges include access to capital, currency fluctuations, skills shortages, customer financing constraints, policy uncertainties. So these are just few of the many challenges. Like when you are in business, you always face one or two challenges. Even one or two is too small. There is always a challenge. There are challenges that comes on the go. But what is important is how resilient you are to face these challenges. What is your focus? Your focus should be on customer retention. You need to develop skills pool. You need to build strategic partnership. You can also diversify stream of revenues. Like in Ashdam, we have diverse stream of revenues, and I will tell you this is what keeps us going at every point in time, because there are times that some aspect of the business may have low revenue, and at that time the other aspect will support. So there's the capacity building that we do, there's the solar systems that we sell, there's the installation, there's the mini grid development. So there are different aspects that you can diversify into, and partnership is also very, very key. And another key thing is for you to maintain quality standards, because that is what will actually keep you in the game for a very, very long time. If you reduce quality at a point in time, you have to get out of the industry. But if you maintain quality, because of that quality that you have maintained, you will be able to stand the test of time, stay in the industry for a very, very long time, if not for lifetime. Now, scaling your solar business, some of the growth strategies that you require is to standardize your operations, build strong systems, invest in technology as you grow. Because some of these you may not be able to do it at the beginning of your business, but as you grow, these are things that you need to invest into. Expand geographically, introduce new products. New products could be maybe before you were doing just outright payments, but now you are able to do lease to own. That could be a new product for you. Develop recurring revenue streams. What are the streams that, yes, you do that every time there are some funds that are dropping into your organization's account, because that is what will make you to remain in the industry. And I've mentioned it before, build strategic partnership. So Some of the lessons that I have learned over the years, I've learned several lessons. I believe that should be my last slide. Yes. And yeah, so we're almost done. So some of the lessons that I have learned over the years is that start small, but think big. Yes, you may not have the funds to start big, but your thinking should be big. You should know where you want to be, even right from the beginning. Yes, it may change or grow as time goes, but always think big. See the big picture. You may be starting small, but have that big picture in your mind. See the possibilities. See what you want to solve. Reputation is also very, very important. Your reputation in the industry, because once bad reputation can spoil even all the good reputation, all the good things that you've been doing. Just one small bad thing like this can spoil everything. So try as much as possible to have good reputation. And that's why when some people say that, oh, I want this solar product, I've seen a cheaper one somewhere, we're like, no, our reputation is important for us. We are sticking to our quality. And that is what we still deploy. Don't play with your compliances if you want to grow. Very, very important. Your compliances, if you want to go, except you just want to stay somewhere. If you want to go, your compliances, your tax clearance certificates, that is the important, the most basic one that you must have, your tax clearance. It is very, very important. And once you start getting it, you must renew it every year. When we started, I was saying at the beginning of this call that we did it for like the first 2 years, and then there was a gap of some years before we started again. And I'll tell you, for that gap, we had to pay penalties, high penalties. Some of us have paid those penalties so that you won't pay the penalty. Now you know that you must continue. If you stop, by the time you are paying penalties, you'll be paying penalties through your nose. Another that you need to start to invest into is your pension certificates and your NSITF, your ITF. These are compliances that if you want to grow, you must have those compliances, except you don't want to grow, except you want to be stagnant. But if you want to grow in the business, those compliances are very, very important. And you must renew them every year. Because if you don't renew them, you will pay penalties. You cannot avoid it. There is no way, there is no paying somewhere in Nigeria mentality that, no, you must pay it. And if you are not careful, you'll be paying a lot of millions of naira. Another thing that I have learned is that quality always wins. Quality always wins, no matter what. We've seen customers that came to us, oh, I want to do this solar system. And then because we gave them a regular price, which is still comparable, but then they saw cheaper ones, and then they went to go and do the cheaper ones, they will still come back and say that, oh, I'm back. And by the time they're coming back, they're paying higher. So quality always wins. Systems and structures are important for growth. Challenges will always come. It is how prepared and resilient you are. And also, God is very, very important in this matter. It is very, very important because when those challenges come, it is your faith in God, your faith that will make you not to relent. It is you going on your knees and praying to God that, God, these are the challenges that I'm facing right now. Show me the way. Support me. How can I get it right? Show me how to get it right. Because it is not by our power or by our might. Yes, we'll put all the structures, everything in place, but it is only because God allows it also. If God do not allow it, nothing will happen. So it is also very, very important that you put God in this equation. Partnerships also accelerate growth. We've had several partnerships that it is because of those partnerships that we're able to grow in some areas of our business. Then continuous learning is essential. Like you have to learn and unlearn. There are new technologies, there are new things in the industry. It is important for you to continue to learn. Like you cannot stop learning at every point in time. Then impact and profitability can coexist. Impact is very, very important, but you also have to be profitable in what you do, because if you are just doing impact, you are not profitable, then there's no sustainability. So I would like to stop here. It's almost 11 o'clock, and I want to say thank you once again for inviting me for this leadership workshop, and great work the team at Gepa is doing. Thank you. Over to the moderator.
Yeah, thank you so much, ma'am. This has been very, 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 very insightful and very helpful. Thank you. I don't want to talk about my own learnings yet, but I'll just leave it open for us to have take questions, right? So if you have any questions, any comments, please raise your hands and then we'll take that quickly. Have you been trying to start a business and you're not sure how it's going to go? Well, we have someone who has over 19 years experience right on the call today. So this is the opportunity. So if you have questions, comments, please let's have that. Okay. While we wait for others to just come in with their questions, I have one. Like how do you like those initial stages, I know you talked about starting, you did one business that then financed it, right? How do you then get to um okay, what are your strategies of getting clients? Like how did you get to talk to people, convince them to come on board as your clients? Do you want to share that? And then secondly as well is, how do you get to navigate technical complaints? Because I mean, I also play in the field as well. You hear people, you install something and then someone tells you something has gone wrong. How do you get to manage all of that? Thank you.
Okay, so how you get clients? I've mentioned earlier is like referral, like that's the best one. Someone to be able to talk about you even when you're not there. And for you to actually have that, that means you must be out there talking about yourself. So showing up yourself first, that is what will build that trust. However, there are different channels now for you to also um get businesses. One is social media. You have pages, you have Facebook pages, Instagram pages, LinkedIn pages, where you can talk about yourself, showcase yourself, even do some paid adverts, because paid adverts brings in all those inquiries faster. So that's another thing that we do. But the most basic one, or the most important one, is showing up yourself for people to trust in you. Showing up yourself for people to trust in you. Yes, we've also done market activations, going into markets, going into businesses, trying to talk to businesses. However, I've realized that if you go to a business, especially if you want to do like if the kind of solar business you're doing is the one that runs into millions, if you go to a business and you're marketing to this business, and the business does not know you before, they would rather give it to somebody that they know before, even if that person doesn't know anything. That's something that I've realized, and that still brings us back to being visible. Because if they have heard about you from something, or even Facebook has flashed you to them before, then they know that they have seen you somewhere. So it's very important to be visible and create that visibility yourself. And what was the second question, please? Chineye, what was the second question?
Yeah, the second one was on dealing with technical
Okay, dealing
complaints.
with technical complaints. Okay. So now the first thing is for you to ensure that you provide quality services. That is the first thing, because that is what will reduce your technical complaints. So I would say you should focus on reducing complaints, because that has been what has actually held us, trying to reduce those complaints. Because if you have provided a service that has technical issues, then you always have to go back to that site. So focus on providing quality products, because that is what will make you not to have many complaints. Focus also on educating your client right from the beginning of the installation, even right from the engagement, from the sales engagement. Start to chip in some things in the sales pitch, that, oh, you have to practice energy management. If you have ox fans, that you know that your ox fans consumes a lot of energy, then you need to procure the ones that are more energy efficient. So those are the things that actually reduces technical complaints from our own side. Because if we have thousands of customers, we can't be answering thousands of complaints. So we focus on ensuring there is quality right from the beginning. And where those complaints now come in, because I'll tell you, of course, some complaints will come in. So where those complaints now comes in, you have to now focus on what was the cause of this issue. Is it that the system was not properly designed? Or is it that the brand of the product that we installed was not a good brand? Or what was the root cause? And then try as much as possible to be honest to your customers. Try as much as possible to be honest with them. So you tell them, if it was a poor design, you tell them right from the beginning, oh, we've actually had instance that one of our sales team made a wrong design for a customer. I had to actually intervene and engage that customer that, oh, we are very sorry. The design we gave you was wrong and we have to redesign for you. And because we're able to say the truth, we're able to resolve the issue with the customer. And we redesigned and gave the customer a financing plan to pay for the system. So these are some of the ways that you resolve some technical issues. But the important thing is focus on quality. Because if you focus on quality, you will have less complaints.
Thank you very much for that. That was really, really helpful. I think I saw a hand. We'll just take that question and then we'll round up. It was Benny. Do you want to take your question or comment?
Yeah, good morning.
Good
Thank you
morning.
very much for this wonderful presentation. Very, very insightful. Can you hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I'm actually a green hydrogen student and studying green hydrogen at WASCA. And I really learned a lot from this presentation. And my question is about solar system and green hydrogen. And I realized that many components of solar system are still imported and priced in USD. So, but the revenue in Nigeria is actually in Naira. So my question is, how do you structure this financing to manage that currency mismatch, especially given the recent Naira volatility? Then,
Okay, you can go ahead.
okay. Then, secondly, being a green hydrogen student, learned that Nigeria has a huge potential for, solar resources for producing green hydrogen. So personally, I want to hear from you if you see a future whereby you can uh, invest in solar to hydrogen projects.
Okay, so thank you for the questions. So let me answer the second one first. So the potential of solar and green hydrogen in Nigeria. Yes, there is potential in green hydrogen. Fortunately, one of my organizations, my NGO, is in partnership with the German government on hydrogen advocacy in Nigeria. So I will tell you that yes, there are potentials in hydrogen, and there are people that are actually working to ensure that hydrogen is also being part of the energy mix. So hydrogen is like the future of green energy. And yes, there are potentials and there are opportunities in it. And there's also opportunity for you to be able to merge it with solar energy. Like you can use your solar energy to to power up your electrolyzer, where your electrolyzer is now what like separates your hydrogen from and oxygen from water, and you can use that to now become like to power up your fuel cell and generate electricity and all of that. So yes, there's potential, and the organizations are even, I believe, even Dangote is looking into hydrogen, and of course, hydrogen requires higher investment than the regular solar energy systems. But yes, there are big and huge potentials, and even there are policy developments going on right now on hydrogen in Nigeria. So, can you repeat the first question, please, so I can answer it too?
Oh, okay.
There's something
Okay.
about the
Yeah.
currency.
Okay, the current fluctuations. Okay, so for the
Yes.
currency, how you can match the currency? So, of course, solar systems are, most of them are imported, not all of them now, but I would say most of them, even the ones that are not all of them, their raw materials are still imported. So solar systems are basically almost all solar systems in Nigeria is imported. However, there are organizations, except you want to start from importing yourself. So if you are not starting from importing, you may offtake from organizations that are already selling in Naira. So they have already reduced that risk for you. Yes, that risk of fluctuation is also there, and that will bring us to what we call pricing strategy. So there is pricing strategy, there is markup that you have to put when you are doing your pricing for your systems, and there are times that you have to put in your quotations also, because yes, when there are market fluctuations which is beyond your capacity, of course you have to change your quotations to your customers. But if you are starting from afresh, I would suggest that you procure from organizations in Nigeria that are already selling to you in Naira. However, if you have the capacity to start to import, then you have to know how to do your, how to even calculate that you are importing now, and maybe when you are importing, your products are coming in the next 4 months. What happens in the next 4 months is what will determine how you are selling. So you need to be able to know how to do your pricing strategy very, very well, and know how to mark up. And I will tell you, pricing strategy is another workshop on its own. So, but yes, you need to be able to know how to do your pricing, and I will advise you buy in Naira from already from organizations. I'll tell you that even some of these OEMs, some of these manufacturers, they are already in Nigeria and they're selling in Naira. So they've already reduced that risk for you.
Yeah, thank you very much ma'am, for answering that question. And that's the truth, because sometimes we think about things in the big way. We can really start small. So we have a question in the chat. I know we have some hands raised. Our time is fast, but we need to let our facilitator go. But can you type your question in the chat box so I can just take them all together? But someone is asking, is this business something that someone can do as a part-time thing? Do you offer training and mentorship for anyone who is interested in starting up? And can we have your contact details, please? Well, for the contact part, you can check her up on LinkedIn. And of course, if she's willing to share her details, she can. But the question is it something that someone can do part-time? And do you offer training and mentorship for anyone who's looking to start up? Thank you.
Yeah, so it's something that you can do part-time. We've had several people that started part-time even right from university. Like I have a mentee that while she was in the university, she was doing solar business. So yeah, it's something that you can do part-time. It's something that you can even do drop shipping, which I've mentioned earlier. So yes, it's something that you can do part-time. And yes, we offer mentorship in my organizations. We offer trainings. We offer solar photovoltaic installation training in collaboration with Koren and the German government. If you do our training and you pass the exam, you get a certificate of competence in solar photovoltaic installation. And we offer so many trainings. We also have the solar queen training, which is like a very dear training to me, where we offer scholarships to women. But of course, we do training for both men and women. We offer all of, and we offer mentorship also. I have several mentees. Even currently, I'm looking for a mentee, those specifically for Ondo State. So maybe if you're on this call, and but this one is also for a woman now. So if you're on this call and you are a woman and you're in Ondo State, and you are willing to be a mentee, you can reach out to me. I'll be ready to hear you out. But you need to be committed, because this particular mentorship actually has money attached to it. It's a partner that is willing to pay a mentee to undergo mentorship. So so we offer all of these opportunities. And once you are also within our network, in my organization, we, after our training, we also add you to our personalized network, where we share opportunities in the industry with you, other mentorship opportunities. So yes, we offer all of that.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll just take one more question. Minga, please, do you want to make it really quick? Okay, you think you already asked the question. I'll just take the question in the chat box then. Okay, so it says, how long should one do client follow before realizing that it's enough? I guess maybe when you're following up with clients who is you're trying to get to convince to get a solar system, how long should you follow? Then the second question is recommending a first tier product. On the quality issue, recommending a first tier product, but customer does not have funds for that. Can we put up an agreement if we are using a tier 2 or 3 product? I think that speaks to your question on the quality. And of course, because sometimes all these very quality products come at a higher price, which the clients can still not afford. I mean, I've experienced that several, but I'll hear your thoughts and as well. And then the second one says, how long should I keep following up with the clients?
Okay, so how long do you keep on following up with the client? I would say we keep on following up with the client until the client says that I've already done the job somewhere else. So yes, you may not want to be bombarded the client with too much messages, but then you need to be strategic about it. Like maybe for the first few days, could be like every day for the first 2 or 3 days, then maybe after 1 week, then you follow up again. Then after like about 2 weeks, then it could now be every 2 weeks thereabout, until the client really says, no, I've gotten it somewhere else. And even as at then, you still put the client in your schedule of random messages, because even if the client has already done the job with someone else, the client may still tell someone about you. We've had instances like that someone that I've done the job with another person, but because at the end of the day, where he or she did it was not really nice, and like the way our customer service was still able to refer someone to us. So you still keep them in your contact and random messages at some times. So I would say follow up is very, very important. Follow up needs to be getting right, and follow up without follow up. And remember that there are many installers out there, both quack and real ones. So you really want to be on top of your game, because there are many. And also remember that for anybody to come to you, that person would have gone to like 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 more persons. So you need to be on top of your game, and it's like survival of the fittest. Who beats you to it, while you also provide your uniqueness. So your uniqueness is what will make that client to actually go with you at the end of the day. Your uniqueness and your follow-up strategy. Now, the second question was on the quality, that can you now go for a tier 2? For me, we don't do the tier 2. That is us. I would rather not do it, because I'll tell you, that person that you are signing with, at the end of the day, will still come back and say something about you. We've had instances where we have to change inverters in our organization. Like we changed inverters because we said, okay, let us try this out. So the cost of going for that tier 2, except you want a bad name, the cost of it is high at the end of the day. So that is my personal belief. Some people will go for it. I'm not saying they shouldn't, but that is my own personal belief. And that is what we have been playing with. And that is what keeps us in the industry. That is what makes us to be able to raise our head high anywhere. I can comfortably raise my head high. I can speak anyway because I know that we will not go for something that will bite us back. So that is my own recommendation to you. Better you go for quality and stick with quality if you want to be sustainable in the industry.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. We're not able to take additional questions again. Someone says, what's the advice and student? Okay, well, so I'll just try and answer the questions because we can release her. So on whether your question here is what's the advice on installing an already procured equipment by the client? Would you turn down such opportunity on a good approach? Would turning down such an opportunity be a good approach, I guess? Well, I guess if you're going to be installing a product for a client that already purchased the equipment, you need to give the person terms and conditions, right? You're not guaranteeing the quality of the equipment, and you're merely installing. Of course, if there's any issue that has to do with, it's a very tricky one because, of course, sometimes someone can tell you it is because of the way you installed it, that's why something went wrong, right? And usually for me, I would rather not do it, okay, because it's quite a very tricky one. I don't know what you think, Mr. Shale, on this point. Would you?
Okay, so what I would say is, if I know it's a quality product, I will go for it. I will install it. But if it's not a quality product, I will not install it.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah. But a quick one though, Mr. Charlie, this, sometimes some products come into the market really new. You don't know. I mean, of course, they tell you they are good quality and all of that, but just straight come into the market. And how do you get to know whether they are quality or if they are not? I know some people use pricing. If your product is very expensive, then it's quality. Is it always the case?
No, it's not always the case. It's not always the case. So I would not say you shouldn't use good products.
I mean, new product, you mean?
Sorry, new products. Yes, sorry. So I would not say you shouldn't use new products, but for our side, I would say for me, that's when some new product comes to us. I just said that, so no, I'm not doing. But that's personal also because we have tested products. We know products that are okay for us. So except the new products is able to really convince and showcase. Because for you to be new, it may be new in Nigeria, it may not be new in the world.
Yeah.
You understand? So it may be new in Nigeria. So you must be able to know what are the certifications they have. Do they have standard certifications? Do they have the IECs? Do they have SUN approval? So all of those things are also very, very important. Not just going for one equipment that is just there. So what are the certifications? Ask for their certifications. If they are not able to provide you with certifications, then I will not advise that you go for it. So that may be something that is something that you really need to look into, the certifications of those products. But I'll tell you, yes, we use some new products, but we always try to stick with what has really worked for us, and for us to try you as a new product, we'll research you, like we'll research what is the name you are carrying, what are the certifications you are carrying, why should I trust you, where are you coming from. So you really need to research it. Because at the end of the day, it is you that the customer is going to be dragging. It is not the OEM. The customers don't go to the OEMs. It is you that the customers comes to. So I advise that you research any new product very, very well. If possible, ask for ask for samples or invest in a sample. That's another thing that we do. We first buy one product. We've done that several times. We buy one product, test it. We may even test it for ourselves or for a customer that we know that customer is someone that we have a relationship with. I will test for several months, even years sometimes, before we are able to comfortably say that we want to continue to use that brand. We've had
All right.
brands tested, and at the end of the day, we changed them. So you have to be able to also have that if you want to do a business that will survive the test of time. Because I know some people, they just want to do business and go. But if you want to do business that will survive, then you need to follow things that will be quality and things that, yes, will make you to really, really last in the industry.
All right. Thank you so much, Ma. We really had a great time. I know we can never, really exhaust this topic, but I believe we've learned you can start anywhere in the sector, find the most easiest way. And I think for me, one of the greatest take-home point, which had also works for me, is building relationships with people within the sector. Right? Maybe on that day I have opportunity to share my own story as well. But thank you so much, Ma. This has been very impactful for me in particular. And congratulations on your PhD, everyone. Please let's celebrate her. She recently bagged the PhD, so you call her Dr. Ashele. Yes. Congratulations. We're super proud of you. And we wish you many, many more success. Thank you for making us proud. And God is giving you wisdom and strength to be all that He wants you to be. This is the beginning of many, many, many more great things to come. Thank you again. We love you, appreciate you, and so thank you, everyone. So I hope we can start our businesses. For those that want to start part time, please start part time. Anything you can do, let's just keep moving forward towards being a part of the solution to the African energy sector. So just go on right now to take our chant and our pledge, and then we would be off for today. Jide, please. Okay, great. So we take it together. We say we are excellent men and women empowered by the Spirit of God to solve energy problems in Africa with the works of our hands. We provide creative solutions, produce witty inventions, and divine strategies that bring glory to God and advance His kingdom on earth. Let's remember this as we go about our daily activities in the course of the week. We are representing God in the energy sector. Please, next one. Yeah, so we have our pledge. It says, I pledge to take 2 hours, 40 minutes, a tithe of my day in deep communion with God in prayer and His word. I pledge to be a person of integrity. We talked about that a lot today already. Standing for what is right wherever I find myself. I pledge to be bold about my faith in Jesus and to be a channel of His love everywhere I go. I pledge to be diligent and demonstrate excellence in everything my hands find to do. I pledge to stand strong in faith in the face of adversity. I do not give in to challenges until my victory comes. And finally, I pledge to promote the growth of Africa's energy sector and to support the expansion of God's kingdom with the works of my hands. Okay, everyone, so help us God. Let's stay prayed up in the course of the week. Let's dare for new opportunities in the course of the week. Let's stay strong in the course of the week, and we meet again next week for our usual recharge sessions. Thank you again, Mr. Shile. We appreciate you. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you very much.